So we're going to have a look at parallel parking, how to make it as simple as possible, and what system you need to use. It's got to be safe, and you need a method that's consistent so you can do it every single time. That just takes the worry out of it. So you've got it. We'll do it from two views. One, look at the driver just to see how proactive you've got to be with your head and your observations, which are absolutely key. And then we'll do another view from the driver's point of view, where you get your reference points so you can make sure you can park consistently every time. So let's get on with it. So there's a car in front of us, 20 or 30 yards ahead. We're going to pull up alongside it, and then we're going to pull up to the left, parallel with the curb. So this is what you need to do when you're pulling off. So all your blind spots from the left all the way around the side of your car to your mirrors, front, in your rear mirror, side mirror, down the side of your car and over your right shoulder. Just going to let someone come off the drive in front of us to get them out of the way. So we're just going to let them go first. So just remember, consistency, safety and accuracy is what you want. So again, do the same again. Now we can get going. Over the right shoulder, off we go. So the car's just coming up in front of us. So you're going to do centre mirror, right mirror, little blind spot check just to come round and pull up next to and just halfway past our target car on the left hand side of me. So making sure there's nothing coming in the front and behind me, looking all the way around, and then physically out your back windscreen before you start reversing. So you want to be looking behind you as you start reversing back as slow as you can possibly go, but just keep looking all the way around as you're going. So you want your back seat level with the back of the car. As soon as you get to that stage, you want to do one turn of the steering wheel, one full turn to the left, so your wheels sort of at 45 degrees. As you start drifting back, so the back of your car's going left, the front of your car's going to be drifting to the right, so you've got to look over your right shoulder to make sure you've not missed anything that's going to try and sneak past you, because that's your most vulnerable part of this manoeuvre. So you want to go back as slow as you can possibly make the car go, just using a tiny bit of clutch up. If you're on a flat road, don't bother with the gas. Just do it with your clutch control until your car is about 45 degrees back. So when you're at that 45 degrees back, you want to straighten your wheels up, because you don't want to go anywhere near it, too near the curb. So then you just keep going back until you get to a reference point where you know you're going to steer. So literally you want something like your door handle to be right in the middle of the edge of the curb. So the sharp edge of the curb that you'd really hurt yourself if you fell back and banged your head on. When that edge of that curb looks as it's in the middle of your door handle. So you can use your left mirror or your right mirror. It's a little bit easier to use your left because that's closer. So when you get to that stage, from your wheels being straight, you just do one turn to the right. And that should be enough just to bring you dead level with the curb and the car that you're going around. If you've cocked it up a little bit, as I have there, just do a little bit more steering, and that'll just make your back end just come out from the curb a little bit. And then when you're absolutely level, straighten your wheels and just stop. Then you can always just nudge forward a tiny bit if you want to do, just to finish it off. But that is an idea of the sort of observations you need to do to make sure you're completely safe. Most important part, your start position when you're level with your car. I always go halfway past, so it just gives you time to find that perfect little slow speed coming back with your clutch. If you're dead level with it, you pretty much want to be thinking about steering as soon as you start, so it just gives you that couple of seconds just to find that nice speed before you're thinking of your back seat or your back wheels being level with the car that you're using. So just go halfway past, and it just gives you that time to just to think things through. Keep looking around all the time. You've got to be giving way to anything that's moving front or back, so bear that in mind. When you get to your start position, sometimes you can't help it. If a car just suddenly appears front and back, just stop and wait. Don't move at that point until the car's front and back have either gone or they sit there and it's quite obvious they're willing to just sit there while you perform that manoeuvre. So one of those two things, but just wait until they've either gone or they're willing to stay. When you get to that position, all the way around, you've got to look in those two blind spots over your shoulders. Don't rely on the view from your mirrors. Keep looking out your back window just to make sure the situation doesn't change as you go back. And you've got plenty of time, as long as you move the car as slow as you can go. You can't really go too slow. People don't really mind waiting as long as you get it right, but people do get the ump if you try and do it too quick, and then you end up going in and out because you haven't got it right. So just take your time, and you should be able to bang it in every single time. It's that speed and that tiny slow clutch control that gives you the confidence and that makes that accuracy quite easy. So stick with that method. Back seat level with the back of the car, one turn of the steering wheel to the left, 45 till your car's 45 degrees, continual observations as you're doing it. When you've gone 45 degrees back, straighten your wheel up, just come back to a point where you can recognise a reference point. I use the door handles, there's lots of other things you can do, but if you try it 3 or 4 times, you'll find a spot that you can recognise every single time you get there. When you do your one turn right, it puts you dead level with a curb and like a drain width away from it. That's what you want. So just find what works for you. Sometimes it's easy if you tip your left hand mirror down a bit so you can get a better look at the curb. Nothing wrong with doing that, but just keep the observations continuing as you're doing it. See how you go, and before you know it, you'll be able to slot it in every single time. So there's the car that we're going to park behind. So you want to all the way around from your left blind spot through your left hand side, front and back, side, down the side of the car, into your blind spot. When you know it's fine, keep an eye on that mirror and come out. You want to be, if you were leaning out the passenger side and sticking your arm out, you don't want to quite be touching that car. That's how far away you want. So you want about 1 metre. So when you're in that position, put it in reverse straight away. Again, have a look all the way around. Make sure we're not going to get in anyone's way at all, out the back. Really slowly, reversing back. Keep looking as you're going. When your back seat's level with the back of the car, one full turn left. Keep the car going back. As soon as you're starting drifting with the front of the car over to the right, make sure you keep an eye over on the right hand side. Keep going back until we're sort of like 45 degrees. When we've done that, straighten your wheel up, go straight back until you get to that reference point we talked about, where you know you can be consistent looking at your door mirrors. Then you want to do your one full turn right, and that should be enough just to get you nice and level. Keep looking back as we're going, all the way around, all the way around. And then when you're level with the curb, just stop. Then first gear, straighten your wheels back up, nudge up a tiny bit as necessary. Handbrake on, gear lever neutral. And that's all there is to it.